welcome into the channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me. Super happy to have you here. My name is Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to look at your energy for the week. So let's get into it. I hope that things are going well for you. There has been a little rebalancing, restabilizing in the collective, in the astrology, which is super nice. Definitely needed. Even though a lot of tension is happening, going on, there's a lot of confusion, frustration, things popping up. At the same time, we know the beast we're dealing with, right? It doesn't make it easy. It's about listening to our intuition, listening to that intuitive guidance. And what does that mean? That means like when we sense, feel, understand something about a situation or person, we use that as a source of wisdom, right? To kind of adjust, change the responses, how we show up for ourselves to make better solutions for ourselves, right? It doesn't make it easier per se. We just have to be a little bit more inventive, a little more creative with the approach. So these are collective readings. Just use your discernment, obviously, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I do personal readings. So if you want me to look at your individual situation, something more specific to what's going on with you, definitely hit me up. I do readings, astrology, energy healing as well. If you want a little rebalance in your body, mind, and soul. Also, holistic consultations, Ayurvedic wellness. So some mind, body, soul action. That really, when we take care of those things, it is what helps us thrive. We find happiness and fulfillment. We're making better choices for ourselves. We're actually aligning with that idea of abundance. So we'll start off this reading with an energy cleansing, set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, do a little blessing for you, for me, for the reading. It's also a really good time to set your own intention as well. So if you want to receive specific messages, have specific questions answered, now is the time to give that over and be open to receive. And we will get into it. All right. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure love and grace. I release anything that is not serving the highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, annoyance, impatience. Help remove those things so that we can see and understand clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Okay, amen. All right, so there is a lot being healed right now. Healed within yourself. These are deeper woundings, deeper traumas, depending on what you're navigating through right now in your life. And it is a little uncomfortable. Like I was mentioning before, we're kind of at this place where we get it, we see it, understand it, but now it's choosing to take a different approach with how we are showing up for ourselves and in our life. Tension, yes, tension all across the board this week. If you've been following along in the weeklies, it's like we start the week off good and then it just gets a little tense and then we kind of go back to an even balance, where this week it's like it starts off good and it just progressively gets worse. Not in a way to scare you, because I think, again, there's a lot of value in wisdom, in being able to see things clearly. We will have a full moon midweek, September 18th, full moon in Pisces, and it's bringing up a lot of emotion. right now, Saturn and Neptune are in retrograde in Pisces, and Pisces really connects to our feelings, how we perceive, how we sense, how we understand. It's an incredibly intuitive energy, but that can also sometimes be to our detriment, especially with Neptune in retrograde. It makes us afraid, nervous of, sometimes worst case scenario is what I'm hearing, right? Like worst case scenario about a situation, buying into the illusion, buying into kind of like the fear mongering, etc. Yeah, I think that there are some things coming up this week that we need to be really honest about. I'm hearing that you're coming face to face with something that was meant to be. Yeah, the letter is talking about those messages, communications coming in. I do feel like there is going to be a lot of communication this week because Mars is positively aspected to Mercury. So it gives us a lot of forward movement, meaning we're starting to, I feel like we've been getting information in, it's been trickling in. And now like the pieces, the puzzle pieces are finally starting to come together where things are coming to head essentially. And we're seeing this as well with Pluto harmoniously aspected to the vertex point. Vertex point is all about things that need to play out. Karma, situations, however you want to understand it. Pluto allows that change to happen, the growth, the development on a deeper level. And the vertex point is just like what's meant to be. And so whether we like it or not, I mean, I think it's a welcome change right now because there's been so much going on. There's been a lot of reshuffling. You're exhausted, you're tired, you don't want to keep learning the same lessons over and over again, or you want these cycles to end. And it's coming to a close. Pluto is in retrograde right now, and it's going to go direct in October. And it's moving into Aquarius. So it's going to finally rebalance a lot of the work that you have been putting in to date. You're going to start seeing the fruits of your labor. And as I mentioned, things are coming up this week. Communications coming up this week. In the beginning of the week, Venus is harmoniously aspected to Jupiter. And it's a confirmation. It's a confirmation of the good that you have been doing for yourself. Yeah, you might not be living the most ideal. You might not be seeing certain situations iron themselves out, but there are little hints, there are little gifts that are coming in to give you that thumbs up to say like you're moving in the right direction. Hammering out the details is what I'm hearing. So we have the man card, we have the divine masculine energy beginning of the week. This has been popping up a lot for you lately in terms of remaining really structured, really focused on what you're growing and building. Not giving up right now, even if it's not exactly how you want things to look. Trusting your instincts, trusting your guidance and your direction. Mars is tensely aspected to the North Node. So there is a little bit of confusion, right? Because we're trying to like put in the best effort and then it falls flat and it's like, well, what the fuck, right? Like it's, ooh, sorry, as I kicked to the camera. It's hard to understand because there is this element of you listening to what your instincts are saying. And I feel like someone's having a really hard time making sense of it. Someone's having a really hard time finding peace within themselves. I feel like this is not directly about you. I think it's about their own stuff is what I'm hearing. things that they have to see plain and simple. It's things that they've been trying to avoid, things that they've been trying to convince themselves otherwise, and now they're seeing. Now they're seeing the truth. They've been hiding from the truth because they don't want to admit it, because it doesn't align with the fantasy that they think. What they're trying to project onto you is what I'm hearing. I do feel, like I said, this is coming from someone or something that you are going to be coming to head with this week. They're stressing out a lot. They're stressing out a lot because the narrative that they're saying about you is not true. And the more that time moves on, it's harder for them to fit you into that box, right? It's someone who's trying to make you something that you are not. And you've been watching this all play out. You've been watching them meddle, orchestrate, gossip, say stuff about you. And it doesn't have to be male per se. This is just someone who's very in their masculine energy. Someone who's very pushy and forceful, or likes to be in control, likes to be the one on top. And it doesn't necessarily have positive vibes around it. It's not someone who's looking at the betterment for everyone for the whole. It's more about their own agenda. And you know, I feel like this is also repeated mistakes. They've been doing this over and over and over again. And this really aligns with that Pluto energy I was talking about earlier, where things are coming to head, whether we want it to or not. You know, unfortunately, a lot of the messiness that you've been dealing with, it's gonna start working itself out. And if someone is finding themselves on the side of the coin where they haven't been, like, you know, being a moral individual, working together, etc., it really is gonna bite them in the butt. And this is something that you know is coming. This is something that you know is coming. It's just annoying because I feel like it has been getting in the way of you and these new beginnings. You're waiting patiently. I'm hearing this is not too far off. It's not too far off. Keep pushing forward. You might feel a little bit unsteady right now. You might feel like, I'm hearing second guessing yourself, second guessing your decisions. At times it feels very invigorating, like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make it happen. I feel like so empowered. And then, like I was saying earlier, it falls flat. And so then you start questioning, well, am I being stupid? Should I not approach this way? A lot of this is about trying to find that confidence within self. Because what you are building right now is something very beautiful. It's very heart honoring. We have divine feminine energy with the Four of Wands, so really tending to your garden. I know that sounds so cheesy, but that's what I heard. Tending to your garden. You might have a garden, or it's just, you know, your proverbial garden of life, right? Planting those seeds, tilling the soil, then planting, then watering, right? And you're working very intentionally is what I'm hearing. It's a struggle because Black Moon Lilith and the South Node are right on top of each other in Libra. So partnerships are really highlighted and focused upon right now. And midweek, when we have this full moon, it's tensely aspecting our abundance, our feelings of security and safety and happiness. But I feel like the blessing again is you've set your foundation. It's a strong one. Fours are those four corners, right? It's stability. It's, you know, you're really building something that's happy and harmonious for yourself. And someone's watching you do this and they really hate it. They hate it. Maybe they wouldn't say that to your face, but it makes them feel less than. It makes them feel bad about themselves and about who they are. I feel like it's hard for you to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's hard for you to have compassion towards this person. Yeah, because they've been making a lot of difficulties, lots of drama, lots of toxicity. And when I'm talking about drama, I'm talking about unnecessary, right? It's fighting just to fight. It's picking fights for no effing reason. And you might be dealing with someone, you know, who's doing this, whether male or female, all in their emotions, right? All in their feels, not able to control themselves because they're not getting what they want, because they're not seeing you as this idea that they have of you, right? Like you keep kind of defying the odds this week is what I'm seeing, which is really powerful because like I said at the beginning, the energy is not the easiest this week. We have a lot of earth element, which gives us support. It gives us that foundation I was talking about, allows us to stay really grounded in ourselves, in what you want, your thoughts, your ideas. But at the same time, people are triggering or trying to trigger, trying to get a reaction. I feel like you have a female, this might not resonate for everyone, but there is someone in your environment who keeps trying to pick and poke. They want to make you look bad. And I'm hearing that like they've even done some things. Yeah, there's our Queen of Wands energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They've done some things to like intentionally make you look bad. I'm hearing like telling you it's going to be one thing, like, and in fact it's another. And then you just like, it's almost like an obligation, like you have to fulfill an obligation and they give you the wrong time or they give you the wrong place, or that's kind of how the energy comes through. And a lot of it is about their own selfishness, right? We have this Knight of Wands being blocked, so people not being smart about how they handle situations. Like instead of just having that conversation, they run away and hide. And then as they're hiding, they're starting to manipulate and try to orchestrate behind the scenes. And Spirit's saying, be really aware of this because it is what is rooting you down into the next cycle. How I was talking about Pluto moving into Aquarius. We have to be conscious of the choices that we're making and making sure that they're not backfiring against us because it's not what you want right now. If anything, you're trying to break free from this. We see this with Mercury in opposition to Saturn. You're trying to move forward, but Saturn keeps pulling you back in. You got to face this. You got to look at this person, at this dynamic, making sure that it doesn't show up again in your life, right? Because you can cut someone off and then someone different who has the same type of energy will pop back up in your life if this cycle goes unhealed. And that's what Spirit's really asking you to look at. Yes, pay attention. Like I said, coming head to head with someone, pay attention to that, but also make sure that you're paying attention to yourself. Self-love, self-care, nurture, support. We're in Virgo season right now, and that's all about taking care of ourselves. Unfortunately, with the full moon in Pisces, it makes us a little bit untethered, right? Like the emotions go out the door, you know, we don't really care like who or what, especially when it makes us feel uncomfortable, when we feel like we have to self-protect, when we feel like we have to hermit, because there are people, situations who are being unruly. Remember, like gender is irrelevant. It's more about the energy, masculine, more feminine energy. So end of the week, okay, Knight of Coins. Yeah, it's just a slow process. I'm sorry not to be a Debbie Downer, wah wah, you know, unfortunately. But it is a slow process. Full moon is heightened emotions. I'll do a video around that. It's also a part of it's our last eclipse of this season. So eclipses move in 6-month cycles. So where you were at 6 months ago is really, and how this is the closure to that cycle. So again, driving home the importance of being aware, being conscious of what you're moving through. I feel like Knight of Coins is asking you not to be so hard on yourself, not so much judgment and criticism, giving yourself love where needed. Page of Cups, even if it's a small thing, those tiny things add up. Even if it's just validating yourself, or giving yourself time to do some self-love, self-care, take a walk, meditate, take a bath, just something that's really nurturing for your soul. It's being blocked because I feel like you're trying to deal with all the things that are coming at you. However, they don't need as much energy as you're giving it this week. Yes, I do feel like whatever this conversation is, whatever is coming to head needs to be addressed. Make sure that you're not obsessing. Make sure that it's not taking away from what you're trying to do. But because this clarity is needed. I do feel like it might mess with your mind a little bit. It's very counterintuitive to what you're sensing for yourself moving forward. Someone's going to come in and challenge this. Someone's going to come in and challenge the way that, I feel like challenge you. I feel like they're saying stuff to you that it doesn't resonate with you. It doesn't align with your intention, but there may be a little gaslighting. They're trying to, again, project, force their own agenda on you, or tell you what you were trying to do, tell you what you were thinking, what you were feeling, etc. And not taking a lot of ownership for themselves, really being a child. Being a child. They want you to appease their own ego. They want you to take the blame, take the fault. Mercury, again, intensely aspected to Jupiter at the end of the week. And the sun is also in opposition to Neptune. So going back to what I was saying in the very beginning, it's easy to buy into that illusion. When someone that you know really well is like, no, you were actually being this. It's like, oh, well, was I? Second guessing yourself. But this is the buildup, right? This is the buildup so you can see people, dynamic situations very clearly. So you can take that inventory of like, well, does this really fit? Does this make sense for me? Or am I just engaging with someone or something that wants to constantly say it's just hard work all the time, right? We need to be supported in life. Like really, we should be supported by the people and situations that we choose in our life. Not pushed against, not hated on mostly. Yeah, it's all about partnership, baby. 7th house of Libra, we're about to move into Libra season. Actually, this end of the week, we're going to be wrapping up Virgo season. Libra, like I said, it's all about partnerships, putting those into strong, heavy focus. And right now, like I said, it's a little hard to see that because of that South Node and Black Moon Lilith. Wanting to make, oh my gosh, double confirmation, cards never lie. Wanting us to make, wanting us to think that it's not what it is. So be really, really mindful today. Hey, baby. My child. Sorry, go ahead. Being really mindful about who and what you are inviting in. Yeah, and whether it feels right for you. I love ending with this Pisces energy because we have a lot of planets in retrograde in Pisces right now, and yes, it's bringing up hard stuff. It's bringing up a lot of emotional stuff. It's bringing up people, situations that do really hurt us, or hold on a second, guys. Treat us with an element of like disrespect. They don't care. It's not reciprocity. They're not seeing the value, taking advantage of the beauty of that's here. And it's so important for you to be able to see through that, see through the illusion, not second guess yourself, building that trust within who you are. The North Node and Chiron, which are all about healing, overcoming our karma, is in Aries. So that sense of self and empowerment, how we are giving to those parts of ourselves. When we give to those parts of ourselves, we're living a happier, more abundant life. We're able to tap into that wish fulfillment. We attract things that actually like honor and nurture our hearts versus trying to make something that doesn't work. So I really hope that this energy or this reading helped you this week, kind of just navigate through some of the stuff that you're dealing with. Thank you so much for your time and energy always, especially if you made it this far in the reading. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear how it resonates or just connect with you. I hope that you are well, sending all the love and blessings your way.